Hey, all you wookiees, how's it going? So, I couldn't sleep. So, I had an interesting idea for a video, and it goes inside with some of the videos I've seen talking about one of my favorite horror movies, The Thing. No, not the prequel or whatever it's called, or the reboot or whatever, because it sucked. Okay, there's no hands up about it. It sucked. It had so many problems. Now, what I want to talk about is I think it was like 1982, The Thing. Um, and I love these movies that stand up in the passage of time. But what I want to talk about is The Thing itself. If you guys haven't watched the movie, let me give you a brief synopsis of what the movie is without giving too much of a spoiler. So, it's about a group of researchers in the Arctic researching God knows what. Um, and they have a neighboring research facility of Norwegians. Disaster strikes. We see the scene of the Norwegians flying and trying to shoot this dog, and we find out later in the movie that the dog is actually not a dog; it's an alien. And it goes on a rampage pretty much throughout the movie. Well, not rampage wouldn't be the right word, but I'm trying not to spoil the movie in case you guys want to watch it. Now, what I want to talk about is everyone's like trying to figure out, well, what did the thing look like? Truthfully, in my opinion, this probably won't be a very long video, by the way, but my personal opinion is based off of other sci-fi shows and movies I've watched. And one of the things I keep on thinking what it looks like in its natural form, it's probably more grotesque than it was in the movie, what it was in Star Trek. But I think this form is very similar to what's called a coalescent. It took me a while to remember what that was, and what that word was. So in Star Trek: The Next Generation, they come across a coalescent being. Now, normally in the show, coalescents don't really pose much of the problem. Like, they can imitate, but they don't really kill, or they don't really do anything. They're very low intelligence beings. But this coalescent actually managed to bring a whole bunch of its friends together and create this giant coalescent which can coalesce and copy more complex organisms such as humans. And but the only thing is about coalescent is it won't show itself. That's where it shows a lot of similarities between the thing and this is it won't show itself in big crowds or anything like that. Throughout the movie, throughout the show, it's just a dog, and no one expects the dog until the very end of the show, where it turns out to be the dog, and is trying to assimilate one of the crew members being accused of killing someone. But it was waiting for its opportunity to be alone with the suspect, with the person. Now, the thing itself, I think, is probably more grotesque, to be honest, but I think it's very similar to a coalescent, or if you ever watched the old, like, this is like going back now, 1970s, called The Blob. I think it would be very similar to that. Like, and it's on its own, it's not that big of a threat, but its defense mechanism, like, I bet you there's a bunch of animals that learn to stay away from this thing. But um, it it learns to adapt to its environment. It learns to instead of being the prey, it becomes the predator to survive. Now, the story goes is it's based off a thing called movie um, where things lie or something like that. Um, and that's where it was inspired from. But the movie takes an entirely different approach to it. But and in the movie, there's these things called pilots. No, not talking about aliens, not those pilots. But apparently, there's another race of pilots that they were traveling the universe. Probably doing much of the same thing like Star Trek does. Travel the universe, looking for, exploring the world, the universe, and seeing what holds, what dangers, and what they can find. And they come across this being, probably on the planet, looking at all these predators, and they're like, Now, they probably have like an advanced scanner to actually figure out which this thing is, and somehow captured it, put it in stasis, or some kind of containment. Now, everyone's like, well, how did he get out? Well, several possibilities. One, we've seen that its size is actually pretty big in the movie. So it's possible that it grew its size out so it actually gets out of containment. Two, um, it could have had some kind of mechanical malfunction because you see as the ship's flying, there's damage. In the beginning of the movie, you see this thing kind of wobbling and there's damage and it's going to Earth. So, a couple possibilities. This is going off of Star Trek knowledge here. Is it could have could have come across any number of hazards in space. It could have come across a meteor. It could have come across a asteroid fragment. It could have come across a quantum filament. It could have come across a comet. Part of it broke off and maybe it was denser. And even though comet technically is just dust that is collected over thousands of years and frozen in space. There's thousands of things that could have hit it that could have caused a problem. But we don't know because it happened off screen. It happened before we even see it. Now, that's pretty much what I personally think. If you guys like this kind of video and kind of thought process, let me know in the comment section below whether or not you want me to make more movie-based discussions. I've done it a little bit before, where maybe you guys will want me to talk more about the movie The Thing, and maybe like who I feel became infected or converted, God knows, or whatever. I'm more willing to do videos like this or fan theories of certain other movies. Please let me know in the comment section below if this is something you guys would love to see. Because I love talking about these movie theories, and just theories in general. I find them very fun. Brain working. I wanted to say the word, but I couldn't say it properly. Brain working, discussion pieces, and I love those. Let me know in the comment section below if you want to see more videos like this, or if you guys want to, or if there's other videos you guys might want to, like, hey, Wookie, what's your opinion on Master Chief? Is he the be all and end all of all soldiers, or anything? Let me know. I hope you guys are all having a Wookie-tastic day. Hope you guys are getting some sleep, because I sure as heck didn't. And I think I said Wookie-tastic day. Yeah, I think so. I hope you guys I hope to see you guys on the next adventure. Till next time. See ya.